Charlie, another loss, another day in the life of a Chelsea fan. This time not away, but at home. We did lose to a good Man City side. There are positives to take, but there's a lot to be looked at from that game, don't you think?
Yeah, life of a mid-table side, mate. That's what we are now. Do you know what? Joking aside, yes, we've lost today, and it's not good that we've lost, and our position in the league is poor. But I saw signs today of encouragement, of positivity. I liked what Potter was doing. We were lucky to be sat right behind the dugout, and we could see what he was doing, just gesticulating on the touchline. Offering instructions to players, trying to get his ideas across. And I like what he did there. He was bold. Obviously, no Mason Mount today due to injury, but he started Hakim Ziyech, he started Zakaria, he dropped Jorginho. He made bold decisions today. And actually, in that first half, we looked really good. We played some nice stuff, and you can kind of see what he's trying to do. But when you lose your two wingers inside 20 minutes, NHS FC strikes again. What I felt a bit sorry for him. What can you do? You lose Sterling and Pulisic inside 20 minutes. You chuck on Chukwuemeka, which I felt was a good move. I thought he was really good today. It's an Aubameyang on as well. Not quite as good. But I felt sorry for him. What was he supposed to do? We haven't got that many options as it is. You lose two players to injury, and I feel a bit sorry for him, but for me there were signs of encouragement today. And yes, it's a long road and it's going to be more pain, and yes, we're in a terrible position in the table, but I actually saw signs of encouragement today. I could see ideas and patterns of play and what he was trying to look to implement.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him constantly saying to Hutchinson, especially in the second half, keep the width. And I think that's something that we're not used to playing under Tuchel. We were a much more compact team, much harder to counter than we are now, obviously having so many open gaps and spaces. But what it does mean is when we do have the ball and we're competent on it, we can move it well. We just need some decent passing. But I think we just lack that final touch. Obviously, Chukwuemeka had a great chance.
Hit a post,
but after that, I mean, I can't say we were really that threatening.
No, mate, it's the same old story, Some nice football here and there. Ultimately, we didn't create any chances. And it doesn't matter what players you've got on the pitch, how good they are. If you're not creating any chances for them, then it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. And, that's the big problem. It's been a big problem for a number of years now. We don't create chances, and then we're not the most clinical when we create chances in the first place. So when you combine those two things together, you can see why our attacking stats are so poor this season and why we struggle to score many goals, because we just don't create anything. We lack cutting edge, we lack quality. You can see it so clear. Look today, for an example. Grealish and Mahrez come off the bench. We're bringing on Hutchinson, Hall and Gallagher. No disrespect to those players. Good players in there, right? But you're looking to win a game. Who's going to win you a game? Grealish and Mahrez or those three? And that's the difference at the moment, is the quality that City can bring off the bench compared to what we can do. And we're still building a squad. You can't look at that squad and think, you look at that team today and you think, there's some good players there. Let's be honest, it's not a good team. Come on, it's not. We're mid-table for a reason, because that's how good we are right now, and that's the level of the players we've got. So it's going to take a lot more investment in January. It's going to take time. People are going to be on Potter's back, because ultimately the responsibility does fall on the manager, but you can't watch that today. Any reasonable fan with half a brain, you can't watch that today and come to the conclusion that that was Potter's fault and he was shit today, because he absolutely wasn't. I'd love to know these people that are Potter out and that decide that he's not good enough after 3-4 months with all the things he's had to take into consideration. What do we expect? What do you think? What should be done better? Who would come in and do a better job? What do you think we should have seen that we haven't seen? Do you know what I mean? Yes, we would have liked to have won more football matches, and yes, we could have made... Potter is not immune from criticism. There's been certain lineups that have not been good. There's been certain tactical decisions that have been poor, certain substitutions in games that have been poor. The way he's spoken after games has been speaking like he's kind of he's still at Brighton sort of thing, not speaking like he's managing a top football club. But these are all things that you can that he's still learning as well. He's learning on the job. Let's not forget that. This guy's never managed at this level before. He's learning on the job as well. There's no harder place to learn on the job than Chelsea, given all the expectations. And Chelsea in a fucking mess is probably one of the hardest jobs in football. So I do feel sorry for him, and I can see signs of light. But it's going to take a long time, and this season is basically a write-off now.
Cup run maybe? FA Cup?
Yeah, maybe. Well, we lost the last 3 finals, so do we really want to get to another one and lose 4 in a row? I don't know, but it's going to be a tough game on Sunday against City. I'd like to see him start a lot of the youngsters. I think, they bring energy, they bring enthusiasm, they bring no fear. And I think a lot of those guys showed up the senior players. I don't think Sterling and Pulisic are going to be fit, let's be perfectly honest. So we're probably going to have to see the likes of Hutchinson, we're going to have to see the likes of Ziyech again, maybe Hall from the off, Chukwuemeka. And I like it. I want to see more of those guys, because they're the future. And if you're building a project, you want to play players need to be playing that are going to be part of that project. So, and those guys are part of the project. So the more of them we see, the better, in my opinion.